partners are down there. You know, I never planned this far ahead.
You never do.
I see someone got his memory back. Wait, is that a beacon? What the hell? Base. Alexa Carlisle's helicopter just took off. Confirm target locations, over.
Diana, what's the status?
Right. We have a situation. Carlisle has left the building. And I think I know why. The Constant has escaped. He persuaded one of the sailors into setting him free. And since then, he's been seizing control of Providence assets and resources. I can only assume Carlisle is rushing to contain the damage.
If she slips away again...
We'll keep track of her. Make sure she doesn't. Meanwhile, the plan stays the same. Your destination is the Scepter, the world's tallest building where the partners are laying low, courtesy of their host, Sheikh Omar Al-Ghazali. Marcus Stuyvesant is fifth-generation old money. His family made its fortune in real estate and banking, and were at one point the chief landowners in New York. Carl Ingram is a powerful Washington kingmaker whose family grew rich selling gunpowder during the American Civil War, and later established a globe-spanning empire in oil, coal, and steel. Both families long since retreated from public view, but their quiet dominance endures to this day. Now, the partners likely suspect that we're coming, so Mr. Gray will infiltrate building controls and disable all electronic doors and elevators. Stuyvesant and Ingram are about to find they have nowhere left to run.
Right. This is our moment, 47. Providence ruined our lives with the flick of a pen. Today, we return the favor. Happy hunting.
Yes, hello, welcome to the Road to Rivals World Championships 2022. Today we have our winners bracket round one game between That Observer and JoeTheBabyGrabber. We're kicking things off on Dubai, although really it should be Bangkok. Oh well, what a shame. We're playing Dubai. We play the maps anyways, but interesting. So blame the admins, of course. Why would we? But yeah, Dubai's our first map here. I love Dubai. I think she's like, we know me in the quick maps, I love them. And another reason for this, we see a map record 242 by Fanium, a record that is easily beatable as well. So it just really highlights the quick and speed of Dubai. As our first spin will come through, and it will be Carl Ingram, loud assault rifle as the penthouse guard. Marcus Stuyvesant drowning as the kitchen start. Now this is a really interesting spin here. You have to bring the loud AR, of course. The penthouse guards up by Carl who have silent shashkas. Marcus Drown is always a bit interesting. You always want to see him right off the bat here. Kitchen staff again. A unique disguise. Actually, there's two of them, but one of them is a woman. So technically it is a unique disguise down there in the kitchens. Close to the bathrooms, where Marcus will go if he's sick. Be interesting to see what they do, respectively with the spins. How they handle it. No corner isolation, but I think we'll see a standard isolation onto Carl here. The loud assault rifle in the stash there will make a lot of sense indeed. With where you do the kill, I assume we'll see this Marcus kill done first, and then the Carl kill or Carl shot from the meeting room. Standard approach now. You can run right to the exit here. Observer just gets a nice angle off. We're going to use one Seeker Dart, so it will be interesting to see what he does here. He's going to go right down to the kitchen. So it seems to just be targeting that Marcus kill first, arguing probably why he didn't do the double seeker. It's only wanted to get that one off. Perhaps to use that spare seeker later on for an easier isolation on Carl. Of course, we're going to have the luxury of bringing in a tranquilizer dart. Has to bring the loud assault rifle and the seeker. Joe though uses the emetic gas device here, and in terms of other items, is very right in that regard. You don't need much. So it does make a lot of sense in that regard indeed. Observer has Marcus coming down the stairs here. Joe also talking into the kitchen staff. It's interesting how the players don't deal with Carl in no way, shape or form beforehand. We see a bit nice timing here from Observer. Approaching Marcus in the bathroom here as he comes through. We'll get the drown kill off very shortly. Joe following just behind here. Good start for the pair. It's going to be a straight race now to Carl. Be interesting to see the approach for that Carl outkill. Of course, it can be soundproof if you knock out everyone and drag him into that maintenance room. Of course, be interesting to see if the pairs approach for that, and it will be a lot slower than just doing the shot X in. Now it's going to be interesting for sure how he actually gets up there, because if you're trespassing out in the Archer area, you have to grab this event security disguise just to make it a little bit easier for yourself, although not trespassing for that long. That's what Observer will opt to do here. Really standard stuff, and Joe, however, does get the bodyguard from Marcus's guard. Observer was going to opt to go with the ladder, take you right out to that one penthouse guard, but does change up here. Interestingly, we'll go for the one right into the arc crew start, hopping up by the elevator shaft. Interesting decision here. It's definitely a harder approach to get Carl here. That guy there, you don't need to worry about him. Perhaps, you know, a CQ's onto Carl here could be interesting for Observer. Really would indeed. He will sneak his way past here. Bit of whoosh from the one penthouse guard by the elevator. And will opt to shoot Carl with a secret dart, but will unfortunately miss it. Interesting now. Really is. He'd have to try and catch him later on as he's walking by here. That's what he has to do. We'll throw the briefcase, however, to try and get rid of one of the bodyguards up here. We'll actually get a bit of whoosh onto Marcus card even there. That's really nicely done there from Observer. Good little bit of improv. And there should be a box in the room next to it. For sure will be interesting. A guard will follow, so he will try and do a shot distraction, but we'll get a target locked down onto Carl here. It's going to have to be a good bit of improv here indeed from Observer here. How he approaches this for sure. It's definitely going to be interesting. It depends what way Carl goes. It's definitely savable if he goes to his right here, but he goes to his left, and this potentially could be spinning some danger. And we see now the benefits from Joe being able to use his trank. You create a lot of an easier thing up here, easier clear out. He will get a gun flash onto Carl's guard there, but it's as simple as a trank. We'll knock out the other bodyguard, so just one more guard left up here, and he will knock him out. Pretty standard stuff. I'm sure his assault rifle was in his stash there. Observer, another restart, or then tries to save it, but unfortunately has to restart, and they're definitely going to be interesting indeed. Joe now swapping into the bodyguard disguise, the penthouse guard even. That one bodyguard sticking out a bit too far for my liking there. Nevertheless, he does the shot from the meter room. He should be fine. The guard shouldn't face in that direction directly. But Joe might go with the safe drag here. You know, we are 5 minutes now, RTA into our spin. So, you know, you'd expect someone to be finished by now. And Joe will opt for this very long drag here. Will pay off, though, when he does eventually complete the spin safely. So, yeah, definitely going to be really interesting here. We do see Joe now drag Carl's body all the way into the room. He'll pick up the hammer and knock out the maintenance staff in here. We'll now pop Carl in the head, no searchings, all good. Has a free exit right down the end of the corridor here. Will be Joe taking our first map to buy here. Take a nice 2-0 lead. His own map here, of course, so it's a very good start for him there. What he would have wanted, start that momentum by winning your own map pick. Very solid run, of course. The first try is always good to see, and it was very well done from Joe there. Plan from start and stuck with it. Observe that unfortunate restart. Trying to do a bullet distraction to stop Carl's bodyguard from coming with Carl. Unfortunately, that did result, of course, in target lockdown. So yeah, things we learned there from Observer, and he probably won't do that again. Joe with a nice approach there, being able to bring a trank by using the gas grenade, of course. It's not low heavy this spin in terms of actually what you need, like the crowbar. You don't need anything. You don't need a snail. You don't need a bubble gum. You don't need a crowbar, etc. So the gas grenade use there was very good from Joe, and it will be him taking our first map. We'll go to a short break before heading to our second map, Bangkok.
Good morning, 47. Your destination is the Himapan Luxury Hotel Resort on the Chao Phraya River, just outside Bangkok. Your main target is Jordan Cross, the lead singer of The Class, a renowned indie rock outfit recording their highly anticipated sophomore album. But this millennial poster boy harbors a dark secret. 1 year ago, promising young actress Hannah Highmore fell to her death from Cross's penthouse loft in Dumbo, New York. According to the police, Miss Highmore's death was a tragic accident, but her parents remain unconvinced. They firmly believe that Cross murdered Hannah and only escaped justice due to the power and influence of his father, billionaire media mogul Thomas Cross. A secondary target, Ken Morgan, corporate fixer and attorney to the Cross family, is also staying at the hotel. Cunning and unscrupulous, Morgan was a key agent in the cover-up of Hannah Highmore's murder and Jordan Cross's subsequent acquittal. The Highmores understandably want retribution, and while the system may be powerless, ICA is anything but. I will leave you to prepare.
So yeah, welcome back here. Bangkok will be our second map, picked by Observer. Don't mind the order, bit of a mistake, but the map will be played nevertheless, and definitely a map that undertook some important change in the October patch. Of course, the breadbasket being patched. No longer a 6-spot 4 Ken. Will ensure you go to the bathroom every time. Although, Observer, I know is not a fan of it due to the cycles of the random NPCs. Is it the kitchen staff and then the random NPC just walk in and out at specific times? You have to be careful of them. And Observer prefers using the letter as well, but also seeking to get him down into the basement bathroom. Apparently not safer. Don't need the letter, just wait a little bit longer for Ken with his cycle so you can spend more time with Jordan. A peekaboo expert as well, this Observer guy is. I want to see Able to Silver because we found a nice little thing yesterday in a VC for hours trying to find a very convenient Able to Silver grab. Wasn't that successful in the end, but Observer found something nice with a gas device. So hopefully something interesting happens here. Practicing the standard with Bangkok, and look, it's going to be an interesting spin. Nevertheless, it's going to be interesting to see the approaches. It has turned a bit into a map like Seagal where you can have different approaches. It's not the same height and level as maps like Seagal yet, but you know, it's still getting there. We can see different approaches all the time, and I'm sure more things like this map will soon to be discovered. And it will be interesting to see how that shapes up the map, of course. But yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting that we see the map record, of course, set this tournament. Buying fun is was expected really after that change. The Emetic Ken made it a lot quicker, some spins, and look, for sure, definitely going to be an interesting one. And the approach from both players is going to be interesting. The disguises, how they manage the disguises, the kill conditions as well. Plenty of good things to be considered here. That's going to make this Bangkok very interesting. And you have your wider range of approaches, and you know, the loud approach with Ken, especially with the Emetic now. It made it a lot more easier, of course. The double door. You're safe every time, pretty much. Just need that little bit of awareness. I have NPCs that could potentially walk in and out. But other than that, you're fine. You know, and that's really the importance of Bangkok. Loud John's a little bit harder, but you know, you have your ways, of course, to make it pretty safe. Hard to rip on, you know. But yeah, it's really going to be an interesting map here, Bangkok. I've taught my way through 3 minutes of pure waffle, and our spin will arrive now, and it will be Jordan Cross. Shotgun as the groundskeeper. Ken Morgan injected poison as the suit. Oh, is this the quick one? Oh, is this the quickie? You're going to want a shotgun. A trank. There's a very quick one. Of course, you have your groundskeepers up for grab on the rooftop. Definitely a very nice spin, isn't it? Perhaps bring the gold bar as well for an easier, nicer Ken kill. Perhaps we will see a Seeker used by Observer nevertheless, who will need to bring a shotgun here. Unless he wants to use a loud one, he will bring one in. At the expense of no longer having a shotgun, pistol. So cameras, pesky cameras, you have to be careful of them. The Snail just suggests that he will be going for this Snail isolation onto Jordan. So it will throw up top, and should be fine in that regard. You have to be careful with the groundskeepers as well on the atrium roof. They can be seen by the hotel staff looking down on them from the Queen Suite. So we'll use a shotgun for this camera and immediately pack it back in. We'll probably a shotgun anyways and get a bullet impact. Do a bit of a longer plan here. Observer repeatedly putting out and putting back in his shotgun. Could argue now, just for the safety reasons, just leave it in the bathroom here and just come back to it. We'll drop the snow for Jordan to come investigate, and he will leave the shotgun in the bathroom here as Joe now does load it. Pretty decent stuff indeed.
Welcome to.
He avoids the panic, and we'll get back here for a safe seeker on Ken, but camera's been a bit of an issue here. Wish he still has his shotgun. I'll have to try and work away past the panic here. Joe, there's a spawn down here. Well, let's go up to try and get a quick Ken there perhaps, but Observer's still waiting around for the panic to go away. We'll do a throw distraction to try and turn around this groundskeeper and get past. JoeTheBabyGrabber with a restart here. Bit behind Observer, you know. Main good progress. We'll have that silent takedown XP soon. Or might have already had it. John will be isolated. John, just look a little bit up in your instinct, Observer, and we can see. Fantastic, wouldn't it? A little bit more? I can't see fully. Oh, but nevertheless, Observer will have this Kane kill done shortly. You don't have to worry about anyone else, of course. It's an excellent kill. So you just do it and then leave. It's all good. How he gets the groundskeeper disguise will be interesting. I thought the snow perhaps would be used to on the roof, but he used that for the Jordan lure, of course. Lands a nice 6 shot there. Good stuff indeed from him. Observer has a Kensek here. We'll hop through the window and we'll get a jab off onto him very soon. A little good old pokey poo. We're done shortly here as Joe also has Kensek. Is hard to tell. Of course, if you bump someone and then a medic, then they'll walk normally. But he hasn't has to try and hop behind him here and get a 6 shot off. Bit of wish from all directions. He can't just find that perfect little angle. We're a gun flash onto Otis then. It will be a restart. Observer can just sneak his way into Ken's bathroom here, but he can't. Gets a bit of unfortunate time with the NPC, but he can just be a bit patient here and wait. So good stuff indeed. We will have the kill onto Ken shortly from Observer. He will sneak his way into the bathroom here. We'll get a jab off. Safe just to walk out. So now just needs that groundskeeper disguise. His shotgun is by a knocked out Jordan. Definitely making really good progress here indeed. He's just looking around for one now already. Observer, he's trying to find a good one to go and grab. Perhaps, of course, the two on the roof, but he doesn't have a track. He doesn't have anything. So in an accidental manner, we'll have to try and knock one out, and he will have his options for it. There is practically a free one in the basement, but in the suit will be hard to go and get into there as. Nonetheless, it will be interesting to see how he grabs it and how he approaches this. Joe swaps up a emetic device here to use onto Ken. Observer's working his way up back to the atrium roof here. Really indeed making good timing. We'll actually hop into 47's apartment again. Oh, he has one sick. Yeah, he had one sick all along. He just went into 47 suite. Because why would you go to an old bathroom? Why you just hop through someone's house, you know? But yeah, Observer should have this one sorted. The one thing now that is in his way is perhaps a camera seeing him as he approaches Jordan here, but other than that, he should really be fine. Jordan's far back, he won't be seen. No worries from the camera. We'll pick up his shotgun and we'll shoot Jordan with it. A bit of push, but just deals with that nicely. We'll drag Jordan anyways out of the way. Safely done, as Joe does get the cane kill, but now Observer with both kills down. Has to find the exit here. Does he go tuck or does he go main? Depends if he has a wrench or not. That is an interesting part indeed. Does he have a wrench? No. He'll be hopping down to main. Safe exit here. We're confident to say GG's, are we? With that confidence now? Okay. Okay. But yeah, Observer. We'll be tying the series here. Both players take their own respective map picks. Start things off here. Dubai being won by Joe. Bangkok now being won by Observer. Joe's still waiting around here. I don't quite know what he's waiting for, but Observer won't care. He's heading down the purple carpet, down the pier to the boat exit. He will be taking Bangkok, tying the series 2-2 here. Going into the first of our RNG maps. Good stuff indeed from Observer there. Really is fantastic stuff. Come back from that unfortunate Dubai. Put himself in a good situation here. Try the admin to confirm that he's won the map. Just waiting. Just waiting for admin. Has Unini gone to sleep again? I think he has. Let me just ping Unini real quick. Bed? Yeah, Unini's gone to bed. Our admin gave up. There you go. The good old ping always works, and Santa Fortuna will be our third map here. Of course, the first of our guaranteed 2 RNG maps. We perhaps could go to a third if if Santa's a tie, or Joe and Observer both win Santa and one of the next. We'll go to a short break here and see what happens after the break.
Good morning, 47. Our Providence contact has shared the identity of the Shadow Client, a former mercenary and bodyguard by the name of Lucas Gray. His past is a black void, but our analysts are digging deep. Meanwhile, we've had a breakthrough of our own. Comparing the malicious attack patterns with global shipping and transportation routes, we've figured out how Mr. Gray and his paramilitaries move around the world undetected. They're using the distribution network of the Delgado cartel, Colombia's biggest drug manufacturer. Clearly, Gray must have struck a deal with the Delgados. Consequently, if we can cripple the cartel, we can severely limit the malicious strike range. But to do so, we need to slay a 3-headed serpent. Sociopathic cartel head Rico Delgado and his 2 closest lieutenants, PR guru Andrea Martinez and servant chemist Jorge Franco. With equal parts guts and guile, Rico Delgado runs a thriving billion-dollar criminal empire. The word is, the brutal and volatile cartel head is hell-bent on becoming the #1 drug lord in the world. To achieve this, Martinez, a childhood friend of Delgado's, has been buttering up state leaders and decision-makers, paving the way for an expansion of the Delgado logistics network, while the brilliant but aloof and antisocial Franco has been hard at work developing a new type of super cocaine. So, 3 of Colombia's most infamous crime lords inhabiting a decidedly hostile environment. I will leave you to prepare.
So welcome back here. Santa Fortuna will be our next map here, picked by Hitmaps. First of our guaranteed to RNG maps, of course. Score being at 2-2, the first 6 tab open. Observer's been here 5 times. Won twice, lost 3 times. Joe's been here twice also. Losing once, tying once, so he's yet to complete a Santa Fortuna spin in an RR setting. Surely I've experienced nevertheless, and be interested to see the approach from both players. You know, Red Fox or no Red Fox is going to be interesting. I don't think we'll see Joe go with the Red Fox strat. Be no Jane Colson on that. You know, he's a bit risky on calls already. Is that high risk, high reward strat. Not as much on PC. It is that low risk, high reward. Miracle 553 set by Danny Butte to this RR. That's pretty quick, isn't it? That's pretty quick. Very much quicker than that, isn't it? That is very impressive. But we're interested to see nevertheless how the players approach this here. The spin will have multiple approaches, I'm sure. Red Fox or not. Still have your things. We've had the Santa Fortuna today. It was quite an interesting one. Was Rico? What was it? Rico drowned subcrew. Jorge Fire is the band member. Can we just say this one observer is fantastic. I think Joe. I can't remember. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, the old record was 8:51, so beat the record by 2 minutes 58 seconds. But from observer here, if you can pull this off, it'd be great to see. But the spin will be Sniper Rifle Chef for Rico Delgado, Jorge Franco, Kitchen Knife Construction Worker, Silenced SMG, Cocofield Guard from Andrea. That's a long run, isn't it? Cocofield Guard to Andrea, or Construction Worker to Jorge. They're long runs, aren't they? Killing to Rico ain't that bad. Could argue a Mansion staff start here for that quick Rico kill, if you wanted to. Observer opting for a suit start, so it seems. Red Fox could perhaps be the one here. Sometimes not. Sometimes Red Fox, of course, is not the most optimal, but it's safest, and that's what you want in these big maps: is safety. You can regard it as more important than speed, because speed doesn't always equal success. Safety, most of the time, will equal success, and the spin's bamboozled observer a little bit, not quite sure what to do. Joe loading in first, contradicting our previous 2 maps here, where observer was loading in quick and fast before Joe. It's taking a little bit longer to plan here. You can't afford that really on these maps. So yeah, very good indeed, Joe. Logging in now. Going through the doors and the mansion staff start. I'm sure a sniper rifle will be stashed in the Stella here, but he won't opt to go for it yet. We'll just run around first. Could perhaps just target these 2 kills first onto Rico and Jorge. Not worry about going to Andre and just doing the kill when you have the Cocofield Guard. Doing it there, of course, you know. Could be an approach, not wasting your time going over and isolating her. Joe getting the wrong door, unfortunately, so you have to try something here. Had a crowbar to a crowbar open with. It's got to get a throw shot off onto Rico here. Does miss the first one. Observer now loads in. After 2 minutes there of planning. Starting as the mansion staff. The guard will hear the throw there for Joe, and unfortunately we'll investigate. It will be a restart there. Observer now has a little lead. The load there from Joe practically equaling nothing, so to say, but observer here hopefully will show us first now how to do it. How to do this isolation here onto Rico. We get a nice little peekaboo there. Good stuff indeed. We'll hop around the dormer. We'll get a nice little KO off onto Rico there. Picks up the wrench as well. We'll drag him into the next to the car here. Of course, one of the mansion guards is roaming into that small little room here to sniff his lines. Don't do drugs, guys. You might turn into a guard for Rico Delgado. As everything, of course, happens in the modern world. Let's give it a stand near from both players. Jonah also trying to get people off, but also just a bit too late. Going the long way around, it is hard for him to try and salvage something here. Does get a distraction off onto does get a distraction onto Rico, but the order here is pretty fucked. The managing guard will not investigate this time. It will be Rico to investigate, and he will get a knockout onto him. Good stuff indeed there from Joe. Observer approaching Andrea now. Yeah, definitely an interesting choice, I think. I've stated my reasons before, and I'll stick by them. In terms of that disguise, perhaps sometimes. But you don't need to go over to the Andrea area, which you don't really in this bit. Before getting the disguise on that, you know. What's the point? Could save time there. Get a second cycle. You know. Maybe we'll observer here. Waits for Paola and Andrea to come into the meeting room here. Will be quick knockouts as Joe now does have Rico and the guards isolated. Knocked out, secured, safe. As we'll get a throw here onto Paola, then Andrea. We'll get a shot of a sniper there onto the camera. We'll immediately pack it, but no he won't. So of course he needs to shoot the camera box. The shot through the window arguably will be made easier with the sniper. You'd think, at least. Just sees the top of it there. We'll shoot it just about. Scope into the fullest. We'll sneak his way past there. Good indeed there from Observer as Joe will approach Andrea and Paola having their little meeting. Observer packing back in his briefcase the Sega and Arctic. But Joe now has light station to Andrea. It was Neo and Puncher and just to make sure she is knocked out. Spot by a security camera, but you have to take out cameras anyway. When you're in this area, it's basically just standard, just take out the cameras. But might have to do with an SMG through the window, which still is great on console. And he will get it off. We'll get bullet impacts, but it is all fine. Can escape there. Observers making his way to the construction worker area, it seems. Not opting for a kitchen knife yet, I don't think. So both players, you know. Both players now have both Rico and Andrea isolated here. Observing our approach in the construction area. Joe going back to the mansion. So the approaches here are indeed interesting. Definitely going to be interesting. There, seriously, we'll come up the vine here. Observer hopping the fence as a distraction onto the box here. Won't distract anyone, will open the door, and it will distract someone. No, it won't. But he has one on the hook eventually. We'll get a knockout on someone very shortly. Not quite a chain. Let's have to wait for the current investigation to end. Doesn't want to risk any peekaboo there. Potential whoosh. We'll get another distraction off there. We'll lob a wrench at the side of his head very shortly. No, make his way around him actually into a silent KO onto it. We'll box him immediately and we'll swap into his clothes. Where's the kitchen knife now from Observer? What one is he going to get? If he doesn't have one already. But we do see Joe of distractions onto the chef here. Eyeing up that Rico kill next, so it seems. I would assume there's a kitchen knife in the kitchen. It would make sense. We got a Psycho there. That is unfortunate. Yeah, just unload bullets, Joe. That's the only valid response there. That really is the only valid response. Observer's made his way around to the hippo area. Goes into the bush and is heard by the guard down there, but does get a subdue off just in good timings. Moves up into his clothes and wander out into the mansion, the compound here. Really is good stuff indeed. As observer now going into the basement with the kitchen knife he took from the outside kitchen. He's going to grab a chef. It seems next to that sniper rifle kill. But where's his sniper? Where's his briefcase? Oh, great questions to be answered. Comes behind the back of here. We'll do a distraction with a soda can. It seems. We'll turn on the tap actually to distract one of these maids. Now the common thing here is just a shot onto the lockers. But when one investigates the tap, he'll do a soda can investigation. But it only get one on the hook. It hasn't unfortunately worked from observer here, but he will just knock out the pair of them. Didn't want that perhaps. We'll have to do a very quick box here. We'll get it off. We'll swap into the chef immediately. It's fine if he gets seen a little bit. Of course, won't be an insta rip. Is a bag disguise, and now with his chef disguise, makes his way back upstairs here. His briefcase, God knows where it is. I ain't got a clue. Joe's still loading. We love old Gen console, don't we? Will we trespass on the bridge? They could just run across right now, I think. But no, the Hero Whisperer. Wow, what a guy. Been a pain in the ass. What's new? Restriction observer once more. A mistake perhaps of leading a sniper rifle. We'll have to use a pullable distraction there. To turn around the Hero Whisperer. Which he has done successfully. We might even knock him out, and he will knock him out. Pick back up his crowbar. We'll hop down into the hippo area where Miho is lying. His briefcase is still left in here. That's where it is. We've got the SMG as well. Forgetting an important... Oh, that's my elbow, my bad. Forgetting some important stuff there, really. Adding a bit more time. I have to come back down here for the construction worker as well, unfortunately. But might have a mansion guard disguise to take from where he gets to the Rico kill, of course. And he will get that very shortly. Running over now to the garage where Rico lies, ready to be shot in the head. Fantastic. The door is locked. The guard is sniffing cocaine. He will walk outside it. Observer is patient and will hop his way into the garage. We'll drag Rico into the side of the room here. The guard just come out, so that will be no risk indeed. Unpacking the sniper will shoot Rico right in the head. He is invisible. And the shot is heard. Observer perhaps spending a little bit of danger here. Drops a crowbar, but Rico's body's seen. Unfortunate stuff there, Observer. It really is. The body went invisible and he missed that shot, and just need to drag Rico ever so slightly bit more into the room, and he could have been fine. Or perhaps committed to that second shot onto the body and got immediately, you know, that would have been some time waiting for that calling and everything, you know. He definitely had the time to get the kill off and then box him. But can't trust the game sometimes. Very unfortunate for both players here. Observer was perhaps eyeing up the shift early there, but didn't opt to go with it. Did appear for him to be looking at it. Joe will get a shot off onto the cameras here. Observer gets a big whoosh onto Rico. But it's all fine. A bit more of a whoosh, but we can knock him out. I feel devastated as well. I really do. So yeah, both players have not much to do here. Joe's just wandering the village in his mansion guard disguise. Observer's now approaching the bridge in his mansion staff disguise. Never trust this game. The never in all caps makes me really think I should not trust this game. It's a good point. Never trust it. It's bollocks as shit. As picked up his briefcase stash in the village. I still yet to know what that stash is called. If you want to know, hitmaps.com, your one-stop shop for all your hitman needs. And Observer has a snail here. We will be grabbing this chef, the one in the village itself. We'll knock out the chef's wife and the chef here. We'll get a bit of attention from everyone, so I have to be a bit careful. It's heard people just do a nice little drop the briefcase. His body is found, but it's all fine. Perhaps it could be from his wife, but can just crouch and grab the disguise. Is there a kitchen knife in here? We don't know. He's just dips. And he gets some good timing for Andrea here. Well, for a shovel at the back of Paolo's head. That's Sorry can front of Andrea's. Sure gets a subdual front to the chef here. Will be swapping into his clothes. Observer shoots the camera for his way up to the camera box itself. Will he scope him 4 times again? No, he would just do the normal way and just do it from the door. We'll have to unscope here. But no, he won't. He will just opt to shoot the camera box as the door shuts naturally. Is fine just to run out here with this sniper on his back. We'll put that back in his briefcase very shortly and take it over to Rico. Now it's going to be interesting how he deals with this. The construction worker. You would assume going straight to Rico next would be the best shout. Of course, there's no point trying to grab the construction worker now, as Observer is following the chef that he's just knocked out and made. Conscious will hop into the room here and pick up the kitchen knife in here. And makes his way round to the construction area. Very interesting. No, he'll go back on himself. Very interesting. But Joe will drag Rico into the side room here, where Obs fell last time. And we'll take our sniper and we'll, this time without an invisible Rico, we'll kill him and we'll box him there. Very good stuff indeed. And Observer now approaching the bridge, going across to Rico. Joe swaps back into his mansion stuff. Disguise, no, yes, maybe, perhaps. We'll just do a distraction throw onto the the second mansion guard outside. We'll get a corner drill off onto him as he comes into the room here. The 2 guards causing a bit of issue. He couldn't subdue, but the sniper on his back does mean he will restart there. Observer was looking perhaps for a snipe there onto Rico's body, but doesn't opt for it in the end, and will put his sniper back in his briefcase, having second thoughts after eyeing up who was outside on that. We're back down here, so perhaps a different way into the mansion. Of course, you can't just throw your briefcase and Observer. The shakes of the camera suggests he ain't happy with it, and this is going to be a lot of time added onto his run here, but with Joe's restart, he can afford this time wasted. Jorge's not on the clock or anything. Observer will come through here. We'll grab a construction worker from the village with the radio distraction. Really interesting. Really interesting, I think. Joe have lots of wishing will be found trespassing by Rico, so as his green gun's perhaps savable. But no. What did for whom? That was from Andrea when he knocked out Paolo and just lobbed the soda can in the front of her face. That is from Andrea. Observer even did get the Rico kill. I'm just as dumb as anything. Thick as a brick, thick as a post, deaf as a post. He did get the kill. I was just checking the guards to see if the kill had been heard. So yeah, well, I'm smart, aren't I? I'm smart. Pay attention when it's needed, Joker. Come on. But yeah, has the construction worker disguised here. Of course, has a kitchen knife ready from the chef disguised grab. We'll make his way across to Jorge. It's interesting if he doesn't have if he has a seeker or not. the stand is ready for a sniper here. Doesn't need it anymore for the kills, but doesn't have a pistol, so making this navigation here a lot easier. Observer making his way through. Of course, no cameras to worry about, but he will be running through the fields. Will drop a sniper eventually. Goes, nah, I don't need that anymore. Overrated anyways. Has an automatic gas grenade here. If he misses this, we'll spill a bit of danger. Jorge will come out of his shed very shortly. The helicopter pilot shed even. Still sad that there's not a disguise on the map, but here we are. Won't cry about it. I was very disappointed when I first played Santa. I found out that guy was not a disguise you could take. I was very disappointed. People will hop over into the long grass here by the good toilet. It's not even grass, it is cocaine. Not really cocaine, is it? I don't know. I'm not a drug expert, but Jorge will hear him crumbling around in the bushes, and it does give him the time to throw an hermetic device at Jorge. Does catch his guard also, but Jorge should be the one taking priority here, and he can get the kill very shortly as he'll walk through this bush. And he will go to the good toilet. Of course he will. Why wouldn't he? Of course the guards are useless for Jorge. As soon as he killed, KO'd, unconscious, they just walk off. Oh, well, it's fine. He was going to die soon anyways. Yeah, I mean, Observer could do it now if he wanted to, but won't opt for it yet. We'll actually play his kitchen knife and will get the kill. Yes, he will. No, he won't. The suspense is killing me, and he will get the kill eventually. Of course, soon as a Cofield's guard disguise, so perhaps why he was waiting for the guard to walk even further into the bushes for an easier grab there. We'll drag his body, run the corner here, tuck it in so it should never be found.
Help me.
Just the Andrea kill left for Observer here. All he needs is that one kill. Should be as simple as just putting a SMG shot into her head, or plenty into her body. But you know, it's just this little area out in the mansion where there's no enforcers whatsoever, and he's basically fine. We'll wait for these mansion guards to pass anyway. It's just a bit paranoid that he might be trespassing after they pass. But he is all fine just around for his outside area here. As soon as he goes past this gate now, which he is approaching, he will be trespassing, which now he is approaching. The mansion will just hop up this ladder and back on the vine. It should be a quick run to the buff stop after getting that Andrea kill. Joe's approaching the thing once more, and Paula is found for Joe, so there's a restart. Miss counter the crossover aim around the box. Well, to us, that is just console. That is generally just controller aim in a nutshell. That is only like a joke, it is just controller aim in a nutshell. And we're restarting with Power being found. That is probably from the panic, I would assume, if it was a triple shot or a double shot or what. The fact that the panic spread that far down is very interesting, Observer. Hopping over the fence here. We'll hop now into the meeting room, the conference room, and we'll apply a slapdash SMG. Put in plenty of shots into Andrea's back there. That's interesting. Who wouldn't? Anyways, sorry, I had to. Observer. Just under 10 minutes in-game time here. Just over 20 minutes. RTA. Run to the bus stop. Will be the one taking the lead. His first time leading this series. We'll be exiting here. And we'll be taking the lead. Observer taking Santa. Our third map here. Taking a 4-2 lead is on match point. See if Unini's awake. Should be no issue with a photo finish window here, and he is. And oh, Mendoza is potentially our final map here. Of course, Joe needs to win this map to have some hope of staying in the winners bracket. But Observer, with a win on Mendoza now, we'll be fine home running to that win. So we'll go to a short break before our final map, Mendoza.
found something. Buenos Aires International Airport this morning. Now watch this.
Heralds.
Trail into the airport. But turns out that a top Providence operative owns a vineyard in the area. Don Yates, of infamous New York law firm Morgan, Yates & Cohn. And get this, it's hosting his retirement party today.
She's infiltrated them. She's sending a message. She needs my help.
Could have fooled me.
You don't know her.
Anyway, if you're going after her, you'll need to deal with the Herald. Her name's Tamara Vidal, former CIA asset and political firebrand. She's a master of surveillance and the Constant's most trusted aide. She'll have eyes everywhere. You won't get far as long as she's in the game.
Why are you telling me this? I thought you were out.
Yeah. Old habits, I guess. Anyway, I need to go. See you around, 47.
No, you won't.
So yeah, welcome back here. Potentially our final map will be my favourite one of the trilogy. Mendoza. Oh, how I love this map, eh? Oh, how I love it. No, I need to cut some slack. It's not that bad. I do say it is absolutely crap sometimes, and I do stand by that sometimes, but, you know, I do need to actually just, like, calm myself. It's not that bad. It is semi-decent. If you haven't watched Meme Junkie's video, watch Meme Junkie's video, because it opened my eyes up to plenty of opportunity on Mendoza. It isn't just start waiter, use bubblegum to tomorrow, or seek it tomorrow, and then isolate Don. You know, it's yeah, it's special in that regard. Observer, turn down your settings, man. Quick epilepsy warning. Observer has flashes everywhere, so let's just focus on Joe's POV. I'm in a dark room, I can't handle this. Yeah, it's definitely really gonna be an interesting one. The spin as well. I do want to see something that ain't just start waiter. A metic, not a metic. Because a metic waiter is actually sometimes good to see. Start waiter, bubblegum, all that flower bed isolation onto Tamara. And then an isolation onto Don. Observer's giving me 2 extra minutes. I'm assuming it's Observer. It's giving me 2 extra minutes to talk utter hwass about Mendoza. Just to restart to remove flashing. That's good. No more epilepsy warning. Yeah, it's really gonna be an interesting one here. Because there's some minor quick strats here. We can start at the default start, the winery viewpoint, and get a Snell off onto Tamara when she ain't a target. So that's pretty pog. That is pretty pog sometimes. Another good one is starting at the car park, the parking lot, leaving a remote emetic gas device in a briefcase. Tomorrow we'll see that at the 1:07 mark, where you detonate it and then you leave a concussive duck in the bathroom, and she would just isolate herself. You detonate it and bam, Tamara's knocked out. You can get to Don upstairs when he's talking to his wife in that time. It's great. It's fantastic remote isolation suit. Sometimes perhaps not the most useful of strats, but it's a bit niche, but I like it. Another interesting one is starting waiter. Triggering Corey Black's and the head of security's conversation. Going up, Seeker and Tamara. You can leave a Snell for Corvo if you wanted to, or a bubblegum. You can see the tango musician and get a tango musician disguise with Tamara isolated. And because you've triggered Corvo Black's conversation with the head of security, you can make your way up at the 3-minute mark and get Don upstairs with his wife, with his missus. It's fantastic. It's great. Oh, Mendoza actually. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. I need to cut some slack. It ain't that bad. We moan about it too much. Yes, the first point is broken, but that's for the better. Never fix it otherwise, because Mendoza will be in the bin if you do fix that. But no, it won't, because we have our different approaches to that upstairs area. It can make these other strats that me shut off slightly more prominent. So, yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting one here. What the approach is, but you know, we still have your boring spins. But every map has the boring spins, the long spins that no one likes looking and seeing and watching. You know, every good map has that. Hokkaido most of the time is just Sonolu. Miami, it's just that falling object serials. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, every spin, every map has them boring spins, but the spin will be Pistol Mercenary for Don and Screwdriver Sommelier for tomorrow. And this is standard, really. This is just your standard Mendoza. Yeah, you can't really do anything special with this. You really can't. And sometimes again, the linear straightforward strats work for these type of maps sometimes, and Joe will be the first load in. Interesting enough, going with the snail here, not the bubblegum. Observer pressing loading afterwards, after Joe, but we'll load in first here. Oh, how do we love old Gen Console, eh? So they can sometimes be an issue, but with the temperature controls, come on Joker, sort it out. It's pretty simple, and with a trank and you're all fine really. Observer. For that bubblegum a little bit early for my liking, but only Tamara hears that, and Joe will also be bumping Tamara here, running up through the frisk point now from Observer. Should be getting this kill off onto Don soon. Of course, the mercenaries on the stairs by Don will hold a pistol. Fantastic, really, isn't it? Handed to you. Good old Hackle Covert. Is it a Hackle 7S Covert? Is that the right actual name for it? The benefits of the bubblegum really showing through from Observer here. Joe having to wait for Tamara to come around here. Observer with the silence down. Probably on Valentina, that is, but you know, should have 1 on 2. Tamara shortly, and lots of whoosh onto Don, yeah. Wow. We'll eventually get the drag off here. We'll have to drag him around the level so slightly if he wants this mercenary disguise. Joe has a snail, arguably for them 2 mercenaries to have that easier clear out onto them. Perhaps will be quicker than what Observer's doing as well. Who will cut the car keys, opening up the Villa attic here for a stash, I would assume. Astro gets a knockout onto Valentina, and we'll just we'll just chin Don. Something we all want to do, eh? And he will throw a snail down for these 2 mercenaries. One site delayed by the other. Oh, we love this game, and he will eventually throw it. In the meantime, as they get knocked out, he will go up into his villa, into his attic. But no, he won't. He has no stash points. Doesn't deem it necessary. So Joe just grabbed the lead here, picking up the mercenary disguise and the hackle pistol here. We'll get the kill onto Don. Of course, if Joe wins this map, we will head to our decider. Our first decider of the RRWC, perhaps? Question mark. Pog. Observer will trank the mercenary here. Interesting, but he might have the spare tranks to do so. Joe definitely does have the tranks for this mercenary here, the sommelier even. Where's the screwdriver? Where's the screwdriver, eh? If you don't know, hitmaps.com. Yeah, one-stop shop. Should I actually just send the link to hitmaps.com? There you go. There you go. I don't have a command for it, so you can't use it. Lol. Get fucked. But yeah, Joe opting not to go with the temperature controls. He'll pick up the screwdriver down here. By the sommelier and the one worker. Observer with a restart. I unfortunately missed what happened there. There is one there stuck into a wine barrel. Joe will go in the longer grab here onto the one worker, onto the sommelier. Normally you wouldn't need the dongle, but does have a screwdriver just to break his way through. Has tranks and is in the mercenary disguise. He'll find just to hop in here. We trespassing for a little bit here, but can just hop his way up and be fine. It's seen climbing up by the weight, but it's all fine. Only a little bit of a. Oh, why are you climbing, sir? I don't know. Why am I climbing? Has a trank here, and he will use it onto the waiter. Will he use one onto the sommelier as well? No, we'll just opt to use one onto the waiter, but onto the sommelier. But the waiter does try him looking right at him. We'll go behind the sommelier here and we'll trank him in his back and we'll swap into his clothes. Just need to head his way back up to Tamara here for that final kill. Cameras here and everywhere. Might have to just trank the waiter as well, which he will do for that easier exit. Observer with another restart. Might not be waiting long enough there, perhaps. Does get Tamara's guard on the hook even. Joe makes his way now out with a sommelier disguise, makes his way into the production room. The processing room, everyone this one's called the production room. I don't bloody know. I don't know. Again, hitmaps.com or what? No, yeah, that. What Barb says. And Joe making his way back up into the solo area, come up the side of the stairs here. He should have brained the waiter, he should have indeed. I agree with that, but Joe now gets the kill onto Tamara. Just to find an exit. The one he goes for is interesting. Of course, the sommelier is not allowed on villa grounds, so perhaps he'll have a hard job of doing so. These all his guns will go for a frisk point up here. So actually, is the sommelier allowed on villa grounds? I don't know. He is allowed in the basement eventually due to the mission story. No, he's just straight up not allowed. Nope, you're not allowed. So I might have to go for the shrine exit here. Bit out of the way, but with observers restarts here. Won't make a difference, and Joe will come down the stairs here. I know that tango exit. Of course, I have to wait 47 seconds for the thing to come through. Does seem to go into a map 5 here. Joe will be taking Mendoza here, runs the tango exit. Will be the one to take us to our decider. Not the first of the group stage, of course. Fanium and Nee had the pursuit of life, but Joe almost finished here. We won't see the accept button done for a bit because we have to wait for the tango exit. But nevertheless, we'll be heading to a decider.
Now we strike at the heart.
Edwards, you know how to find him, don't you?
Why, Edwards finds you, 47.
Oh wow.
He is untraceable, and he never lets you forget it. He is cocky, and that will be.
This is going to be interesting here on our fifth map. We are just waiting, of course, for the tango thing to end. It is 47 seconds long, and we will be heading. I will spoil it now, as the rating screen does come through from JoeTheBabyGrabber. We will be heading to Hokkaido for our decider here. Oh, what a beautiful decider this will be. Hokkaido is a beautiful map, I think. Arguably one of the best in the game. And we do see now the score 4-4. We'll be heading to a deciding map. Wow. We need a quick break, and we will be going to our final map, unless it's the draw. But it shouldn't be, because Hokkaido is going to be quick. Let's go to a quick break and see what our decider here has in store for us.
Good morning, 47. The board has sanctioned Eric Soda's for termination. After Colorado, we did some digging into Soda's private affairs and discovered that he has been fast-tracked for critical heart surgery at the hyper-exclusive Gama Private Hospital in Hokkaido, Japan. Such a display of power has Providence written all over it. Sodas, who suffers from a rare condition known as situs inversus, where his internal organs are reversed, desperately needs a right-sided heart transplant and has clearly betrayed the ICA to get it. He was admitted last night and is currently being prepped for a 3-day surgery. We have booked you into Gama under the usual guise of Tobias Reaper, corporate shark, here for a standard medical checkup. As such, you will need to play it by ear and procure whatever tools you need to complete the mission. You also need to eliminate Yuki Yamazaki, a Tokyo lawyer who works for Providence. Sodas has already given Yamazaki access to our client records and has agreed to provide a full list of active ICA operatives post-operation. This transaction cannot be allowed to happen. Sodas must pay for his treachery, and his insidious employers must be taught a lesson. ICA's sovereignty is at stake. Powerful as Providence may be, we need to draw a line in the sand. I will leave you to prepare.
So yeah, welcome back here, Kaido. Being our decider here. Oh wow, Observer. Only been here once. Did win on that occasion. Joe's been here 6 times. A bit of experience really, more than Observer. Winning 4 times, losing twice. God, he ain't lost 6 times, Joker. Sort yourself out. Just read. Has that 66.7% win rate, and is a unique map in that sense that it has 3 records: Pajero, Blythe, and Blythe again. That's greenness, and you know what? To hype up this decider, I would not mind a record spin here. I really wouldn't. This map is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to see how they approach it, what type they go through for first, what they do for Yuki. Of course, Soda's, well, he's Soda's, he don't move. Definitely really going to be an interesting one. How they deal with the disguises, the enforcers on the map, the key hackers, the management of them. Always going to be interesting. But yeah, for sure. Going to be an interesting one here. Our final map. What does it have in store for us? Hokkaido, it usually lives up to expectations. Let's just praise there ain't a solo spin. You go on the spin too. We've got chat playing as well. Remember, when you finish, you just type done in chat and then you type a whole paragraph afterwards on how you do it. So perhaps we could be going to a 6th map if chat does win here. Oh, Pog. But yeah, look, we shouldn't see a tie on Hokkaido. The only tie would be a photo finish tie, which you know we can't rule out the window. Unless it is a giga hard spin on Hokkaido, which you don't have really. There's no impossible spinners there. You just want to take your time on them harder spins and just see where it takes you. Of course, 47.7. Oh my god, yeah, 477 minutes. No, 47 minutes. In the co stage is how long you have on your spin setup. Perhaps in the group stage it was a possibility, but now with 47.7, oh for fuck's sake, bro. I've done it once now, it's in my head. Bar spin will come through and it will be throw the heart in the trash can as Amos Dexter for Sodas. And Yuki Yamazaki Cleaver as the patient. Oh, this is an interesting one. I would suspect a sweet start here of a knockout onto Dexter. Or a distraction onto Dexter into 47 sweet. And an isolation onto Yuki with a kill very shortly. It's definitely a very interesting one. I do like this spin. It's a bit of a weirdie. It's a bit to keep on still, but it's all fine. Observer. Mate, that was like a second load. That I'd kill to have them sort of loads. We'll have a banana here for Dexter. Way banana, woohoo! Is it for Dexter? Praise, and it is Pog. I would assume he'll grab this after getting the knockout onto Yuki, and leave that by the patient. So you shouldn't have to go back into the 47 sweep and perhaps burn a key hacker. We'll drop one for Yuki just to stop her in her tracks, and we'll throw a lead pipe here. So you have to be a bit careful, of course. You have seen the rips of frontal kills here, so the management of that is going to be interesting. See, we'll get a knockout on Yuki. We'll knock her straight forward. We'll swap into the bodyguard. Of course, Dexter will isolate himself here, so can go and grab the cleaver. Then the patient get the kill on Yuki and go back up as 47 to go grab Dexter. Of course, he doesn't have that luxury at the moment. Just go get the Yuki kill now. There's no harm in getting the Yuki kill now. You're in the bodyguard to safely grab the cleaver, of course. So you know it's definitely an option you could do here, and perhaps this is what Observer's going to do. No, you won't. The guy just turned into a force and he does rip him. Wow, we love this game. Both players are already starting their belt now. Observer loading straight back in. Using the banana once more as a throw distraction.
What's this?
Joe now has Yuki on the hook, but no! Yuki does not investigate the throw, and it will be the other bodyguard that does hear it investigating it, so it will be a restart there. Very unfortunate indeed, as the observer waits for Yuki to actually go up the stairs or the slide, whatever, it's a slope. Here. Going back into the main resort, the main area here, and he will knock out both bodyguards once more. Will lob at the lead pipe into the back of Yuki's head, who will fall forward. Interestingly enough. He's in a suit this time to safely swap into Amos Dexter by getting into the suite. There he is, all nicely knocked out, and we'll swap into his clothes in that good old pink drip. Seems going for that Eric Solis kill next. Maybe it's out into the gardens here. An unusual approach into the hospital here, but will work. Kiyacking this door in the gardens to get through. We trespassing, but never an issue normally on Hokkaido. Nice approach, so to say, from Observer here. Different. We'll come through, get a knock onto the bodyguard here. No, won't he? We'll just wait ever so slightly for him to turn around a little bit, and we'll run through and knock him out, box him immediately. Stopping into the bodyguard in the meantime, perhaps to save a Kiyaka and get into the trash can, the heart room. For that kill, of course, we will get a trank onto one of the bodyguards here. Taking a bit of time, I was a bit worried for a second. The other one will see the knocked out guard. The long animation, of course, is always great to see. We'll train the other one very shortly, I will imagine. The door staying open, nice indeed. Joe gets the throw off this time, and Yuki once more not investigating it. Very unfortunate. No one investigating it, perhaps, as well. Observer will knock out the bodyguard and we'll box him there. We'll box both of them. Really playing this safely here. Of course, no sauna time to worry about. And we'll use the lead pipe to keep the door open. Swap him back into the decks of disguise to get that kill. Wise game try on Joe. I don't think he's waiting long enough for Yuki. I think he's doing the throw a little bit too early. Observer weighing out the cutscene there. Fantastic. We'll get the kill. We'll swap into the bodyguard disguise. Just needs the cleaver next, and of course the patient, practically free, is free disguise. Vanium saying that should be a wrap, so we know who to blame if Observer does rip. Is doable. Joe, very unfortunate here. It's very sad to see, because through the side you want to hype it up, but when the game shouldn't play this way, it's not good to see at all. Constant restarts, you rip once and your mental goes, and unfortunately that's probably what we're seeing from Joe. The game's not going his way, and it happens really sometimes. It's unfortunate indeed. Observe picking up the cleaver here from the morgue. The other one, of course, being in the sushi bar. Just need a thing. Scruffy has one. We'll head to our 6th map, which is Amber. No, I'm joking. Observe makes his way through. Just needs that patient disguise. We're going up here to get it. Do you go for the 3-1 or the 1 on the man? We'll go for the 3-1 here. We'll just open the door and crouch his way through. Anyway, he will actually just edge closer and we'll nab the disguise. Hit him out, stolen, coming in clutch. Of course, if you don't know where the cleaver is, hitmaps.com, your one-stop shop for all your Hitman needs. But Observer did not need hitmaps. Has the cleaver. Making his way down. Bit scared of Dexter there. Interesting indeed, but he can make his way outside here. Has tranks to use onto the bodyguards just to ensure no rips there. Very smart indeed from Observer. We'll wait for them to fully collapse before doing the kill, which you will do just over 5 minutes in-game time. Observer will exit here, will take our decider, Hokkaido, knocking Joe into the low bracket in quite unfortunate fashion. Well done to the person that put 1 point onto Observer. You've won it back. Good job. But yeah, the result will come through now. Observer does take the win. A slight blip on the bye. Came back on Bangkok and Santner. Joe stumbled Observer on Mendoza. Forced that decider, but Observer will take it. Will take series, keeping his winners bracket. Hope alive, and we'll look at what that does to the bracket here. Most of the Group 1 games nearly done. We still have a couple left tomorrow. Where is it? What side is it on? Let's see when it eventually loads. Let me find it. This is the worst part. Observer does advance into round 2. We'll be playing the winner of Kenny and I Like Him, which is taking place at the moment. Joe coming down to the loser bracket here. We'll also be playing the loser of I Like and Kenny. So both players will have an interesting controller matchup next against against two very experienced controller players in that regard. Yeah, Observer. Look, that side is stacked. Observer, then I Like Him and Kenny will play the winner of Blythe and Danny Buter, which yeah, you don't want either of them two, do you? Yeah, we'll see. Outcome match is cool. I know there is a game going on for the moment. Let's see them. Let's load. I Like Him and of course, and Kenny being casted by Joe's. One game tonight. Punk vs Nezuko at 23 CT. Buff vs Blunts. Fane vs Rustle. Wow, we've got 2 games at the same time on a Sunday morning. Screw you guys. Oh god. Kineta vs TK. Pineo vs Searoon. Mr. Mike vs Sparkles. All games happening tomorrow. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming out. It's been a great pleasure casting once again. Thank you, Nini, for having me. We'll see you very shortly for more Real Rivals World Championships. Bye bye.